You know, change is good. Every now and then you gotta make change, and I've been doing four-wheel drive builds on this channel for a long time. So in this episode, we're trying something different. I'm gonna be working on my 180SX. We're making it a proper drift car. That's right, so behind me is my chip stuck in the throat, beloved 180. Now I've been using this for the last couple of years, or probably a year or so, learning how to drift. It's been great on track, but it was always a little bit underpowered. It's got an RB20 motor in it. It was only putting out about 200 kilowatts, and after a bit of digging on the dyno, we figured out the thing only had about 40 pound of cylinder pressure. Bloody unheard of. The thing's about to blow, and it pretty much did last time we took it to the track at Rayleigh. So I've already pretty much got myself fairly grubby getting the thing in here, and in this episode, I've got myself a brand new motor. It's an RB25 DET NEO, and that's going to be chucking in this thing with a few mods to try and get up to 400 to 450 horsepower, so I can keep learning and growing, becoming a better drifter, and making more smoke at the end of the day. The RB is a straight 6 4-stroke gas cylinder engine. It was produced from 1985 to 2004. Now there are a few different variants and sizes, but the RB25 series had the non-turbo DE, the DET Turbo with 250 horsepower, and also the DET NEO with 276 horsepower. Now in 1998, when the Neo came out, it featured solid lifters rather than hydraulic. It had a revised camshafts and a revised manifold increasing air velocity and low end torque. Now what was also seen on the RB25 DET Neos was the N1 type oil pump. This had a different oil pump drive collar on the crankshaft to help cope with breakage problems associated with high, fast revving. So for this build, I have decided to go with the DET Neo. Since I'm not going to open the motor, it's a better base to start with to throw the bolt-ons on. So for me with this drift car, obviously I don't want to go super over the top. The more power they have, the more problems you have, and the more tires you go through. Essentially the perfect amount of power for a drift car with my skill level and ability at the moment is around that 400, 450 horsepower mark. So with this, we're gonna leave it as an unopened motor, but I do have a ton of bolt-ons to go on this thing. And they are all here. I've been gathering these parts for a while. I'll go through what I've got in a second, but it's essentially all the external stuff. We've got a full turbo setup on the hot side. Cold side, we've got an intake setup and then a full harness to run it. We've got clutch, we've got intake manifold, we've got heaps of parts and hoses. Full Haltech is gonna be pretty flash. So, first things first, I'm gonna rip this motor apart. You know what's crazy though? I don't know if you can notice, you can see I've put cardboard on the floor like I'm trying to protect the floors or something. I give that all of 5 minutes to last. It's funny the stuff you do when it's new. All right, call me a stripper because this bitch is stripped. The next thing to do is pretty much as far down as I want to go with taking the stuff off for the moment. The next thing is to get the sump off and try and convert this thing back to two-wheel drive because it came out of a four-wheel drive vehicle. Now again, I'm hoping the RB20 sump will go straight on. Now that's still in the car, so the next thing is to rip the motor out of that. I might take some of these covers and bits off too, because I think we're changing some of the timing stuff. I've got some stuff from PRP which will really get the trigger kit to work properly with the Haltech. So I'll show you a couple of the bits that I've got to go on this thing, and we can probably do the cold side, and then I'm still waiting on a manifold for the turbo, and we can get all the turbo mounted. But in the meantime, try and drop this sump off and see what we've got to do to actually convert this thing to two-wheel drive. So somewhere in here, I got a manifold from ProFlow. Now I used a Plasma Man manifold on the 80 last time, but super expensive. This thing, being an RB25 Neo, it's kind of a rare-ish engine. Now this is for just an RB25, so there may be a couple of slight differences, but it's a good start. So super good quality. I don't see any issues with it. We can run all the hoses, vacuum lines, everything we need. Welded beautifully, and of course, finished in the black. So let's go whack it on and see how she looks. Stop it. Daddy, that looks so good. So obviously the idea behind these intake manifolds, similar to when we did the 1FZ build on the 80, it just cleans up so much of that crap that goes over the top, all the hoses and vacuum lines and breathers and stuff that's on a factory car. You just do away with it all and put the essentials on. So I just got to mount an intake manifold. I've got fuel rails for this as well, and we've got bigger injectors because we're going to be running this thing on pure E85. So, whew, first bit of sexy flash stuff going on. Not mad about it, tell you that much. Sump's about to come off. I think I've done it right. There's literally a whole diff center in here. I've pulled apart what I can. Pulled out an axle. Which I didn't need to do, which goes through there. Alrighty, so we've got the sump off now. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more research and we need to get the RB20 sump to see what's going on. So I'm gonna head across and get that RB20 out of the drift car and then we can sort of test fit it and see how we're looking. Professional. Right, this is my favorite game, figuring out what I forgot to undo. What do you reckon? There's got to be some cables. Holy shit, I did pretty good, eh? You're joking. That's not meant to be like that. I was driving around with one engine mount. Well, that's fucked. Oh, we could try this. Hey, that's working. That was amazing. Nothing was connected. It's a world first here at Built Not Bought. That's what we do. Okay. Beautiful. After a bit of research and a little bit of like excavating, there's two sets of holes on these blocks. So there's little holes offset in here, which are for the smaller sump. So we're gonna pull it off and double check again. It may still be wrong, but it looks like it's heading in the right direction with those little bolts. There's a little bit of notch here you got to do for the pickup and apparently a bit on the baffle to make it fit, a little bit of grinding and cutting. But these holes, if they line up with that sump, we could be onto a winner. Because I started to look around for the one that I needed and people kept saying like, oh, you can just use an RB20 sump on the 25 block. So we're back to where we started. Hopefully it'll work and that'll save us a bunch of time trying to find a new sump, but we'll just clear out these holes that haven't been used. They're full of silicone, give them a little clean out with a tap. And it should work, mint. Mitch is out there cleaning the car. We've decided to just gut the thing because we've got a full Hardkorr going in with this new motor. So yeah, we're just gonna completely gut the wiring, strip the dash, run a whole new switch panel for everything we need with lights, indicators, wipers, all that crap. So it's getting a full makeover. Alrighty guys, welcome to this week's tech tip. Now stay tuned because we've got a fat giveaway happening. And we're looking at some brand new lights from Hardkorr. Now these are the 9-inch lights that I've been running on my Patrol for a while, but this is the new model. So what is new? They've got a new upgraded bracket. So this bracket is a lot more heavy duty and stronger. It's got a different logo on there as well, and it also has the anti-theft hardware that comes with it. We've got IP68 waterproof housing, polycarbonate lens, and it puts out almost 35,000 lux as a pair, and one lux at almost 1,500 meters, which is pretty bloody crazy. Now, one of my favorite features that is new with this is the daytime running lights. They've got a new startup feature, which looks sick when you turn your vehicle on. If you've got them hooked up to your park keys or ignition, they come on as your daytime running light. Now, the other cool feature, a lot of people, it must be the fashion these days, they run 3 lights on the front. So a lot of time you buy a pair, you need to buy another pair to get the third, but they do now offer it as a single light. And I didn't get to grab this, I'll show you. This makes all the difference. So they've increased the wiring harness size, which can handle a bit more load. And this is literally a wire piece that you plug in to add the third light. So no more running 2 complete separate harnesses to set up these lights. You literally do the single harness for the twins and just add this wire piece for the third. So we're gonna literally give away a full pack of 3. So the twin pack and a single, so you can run 3 spotties on the front of your 4-wheel drive. So you're gonna do go on the draw, just comment down below what 4-wheel drive you got and whether you're scared of the dark or not, like I am. Let me know in the comments. I'll be picking a winner at random in the next episode. Good luck, guys. Back to the episode. Well, this is the first little test fit since Mitch has chopped out the baffle area. Looks like the holes are gonna line up, but it's just still a case of getting that pickup to fit properly with that windage tray, so.
3 days later.
I tell you what, I've had an absolute gutful of the sun. We've been pumping on this thing for a while. It's not going to plan. So I'm gonna rethink it for the 5th time, but tonight is Drift Masters. So what perfect scenario. We're working on the drift car. Let's go watch Drift Masters and it might give me some more motivation. I'm out of here. How good, eh? We've been building drift cars all day now. We're actually going to a drift event. So Drift Masters is basically the Pro Series event for the year. I think there's a couple a year, but here are the Pro AM drivers, the Pro AM guys. And I know Rob White, I've worked on him with him before on a TV ad commercial for Super Cheap Auto. So hopefully I can maybe get a run in his car. Black Bear are down there, they're one of the sponsors, and they're the major sponsor for Rob White. He's probably one of the top drivers in the country. So we'll see how he's going tonight. It's pretty cool because racing starts at 5:30 p.m, which is pretty much now, and it runs into the night. So there'll be some sick lights on the cars. They've got their big whip antennas going, and see some proper pro drivers. Get me super keen to finish this drift car build. So Rick was a legend. He said I can come on the track. So I brought my drift car. I'm just joking. This probably won't end up on the channel, but my brother Zach has moved to Queensland and he's wanted one of these. Took him a week living here and he's bloody found one. So bit of a resto job. He wanted a short wheelbase. It is a long wheelbase, so it may be for sale soon. And then we're gonna do a build on one later in the year. So that's the project for now. And we picked it up on the way down here, but we're here for drifting. We could probably drift this. I don't know, comment down below. There's donuts over there. Let's get donuts and go watch some drifting. So Rick just showed me this. It's the first 300 in the world. Bagged. This thing's slammed on the back. So front's bagged as well.
Nah, just the back.
Just the back.
Oh yeah, we haven't worked on the front.
Is it like helpers or a convert?
No, it's a full,
proper, yeah.
Full bag.
Dude, how sick does it look? It's like laid out. The new 300. You've actually done a lot of other stuff too. Yeah. Rhino rack platform. They're sick. I'm running them with my cars soon. And the best tyres in the world. God, that's so quick.
I know, it does.
Mine doesn't go that quick. What happened with Rob's car? Is he here?
Yeah, he's back.
He's back.
Where
he's just got back now, so he's got the parts. He's going to quickly
put it in.
He's going to quickly try and get it
We're
all
gonna
back
film.
to
We're gonna film that.
Well, the gearbox.
Spewing.
Gearbox
So
on the floor.
Rob, is he ranked #1 still or some shit? Somewhere up there.
He's up there.
He's one, yeah, 2-time Australian champion. Last time I had Drift Masters, I was the first person ever to go in this car as a passenger. I remember that because the seat belts weren't even bolted to the floor yet in the passenger seat. We were meant to go today, hey, but he's blown his clutch.
Yeah, he only got like 1 lap. Clutch is blown, so he's raced out to the Fortitude Valley.
Yeah.
And come back to race.
That sounds like my day at Power Cruiser had when I blew my diff first lap, fixed it in the car park and went and did another lap. So the thing's off its head, so we'll watch the boys put a new clutch in it and then hopefully it goes out.
Gearbox is on the floor.
Yeah, let's have a look. And this was the actual car they used in the Super Cheap ad as well. So he was a new long car and they were running around the car park. So he's done a lot with this thing, but spewing first competition in a while and he's done his clutch. But the thing's off its head, it's got a NASCAR motor in it. Full Black Bear sponsored car. I'm just about to run these tyres on my drift car too, so they'll be coming soon on the episode. Well, he's got the good tools too. I'm pretty sure this is like a Super Cheap Auto sponsored event as well. This is all working out great. These are the new tools that I'm going to put in my shed as well. They're sick. Rob, we were just telling them about the car, a bit unfortunate, but tell us quickly about this whole event. What is it? Pro-Am stuff?
The Drift Masters basically have created it to create a platform for a lot of amateurs. They want to try and get somewhere and they say, you know, they don't get the opportunity to get their foot in the door. So Drift Masters offers a position for the winner to go and do an international event, which we pay for, which is the World Time Attack in Sydney. We go down there and support them and you know, it's an invite only. They only invite the best 20 in Australia, and it's really, really hard to get in.
Yeah.
So we offer that to an amateur driver that's up and coming, and we look at them as a true talent and give them that one. So Saxon won it last year. Saxon's now coming second in the Australian Championship this year. So it's a really good platform to find the real next, you know, Australian champions and bring them through and fast track it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you got probably 10 minutes to get that clutch in on the track, eh?
That's it.
I'll let you go, man. Cool. Keen to see it on the track.
All right.
please click the button to your left if you want to go and check out the latest merchandise we have on our website. If you missed last week's episode, click down below to see it, and most importantly, on the far left, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.